Hey there, it's E. You're in the E Zone, and it's been a minute since I've done a sit down and chat or soul session sunset moment with me, right? So, and I thought this was appropriate. So I've been watching quite a lot of YouTube videos, right? And just trying to find the perfect tribe for me, like the ones I want to follow. And in between watching the tarot readers and vloggers, people who do the vlogmas, or the vlogs I should say, a day in their life, and especially the ones who are decorating, because I'm in that mode right now. So I'm kind of all over the place. But what I realize is there's not a niche for me, that there's no one really speaking to me where I am. So most of the YouTubers that I'm following, from an aesthetically pleasing situation, from like fashion, home design, Amazon hauls and things like that, things that are of our interest, are younger. And then when I try to find the influencers who are 40 and up, 50 and up, they're not talking to me. Like, their subjects just don't resonate with me right now. Maybe I'm not finding the right one. So if you have some that you want to recommend, send them over. Now the readers, tarot readers, psychics, mediums, one second. My bad, I forgot I set the timer for a margarita. Somebody turned me on to some fly something margarita premix, and that's what I'm sipping on, right? So anyway, I'm just doing this video on a few things. First of all, say what's up to Tupac. That's my husband. God, and he rest in peace. Yeah, I reattached my locks. I did it. Still not quite sure why I cut them. Definitely sure why I reattached them, because I'm cheap. I felt I had made an appointment, and I know this is all over the place, but stay with me. So I made an appointment to get braids, right? To do the knotless braids. And then I'm like, here we go. Every 2 to 3 months, I'm getting fucking braids. That's $200 to $300 a quarter. And I'm cheap. I'm not. I'm like, for what? Bitch, you had hair, but you cut it off because you were going through something, right? And it was overwhelming masculine energy. It was a control issue. And I know my shadow work. Like, I am notorious for cutting my hair off when I'm frustrated, or I feel like I lose control, or things aren't going as I'd like them to go, or I've discovered something that is detrimental, or not detrimental, I'm being dramatic, but I've discovered something has revealed itself that makes me uncomfortable, right? Or takes me by surprise. So usually I cut my hair, or I get a tattoo. And before locks, it was easy to cut my hair, because I've always rocked short hair. But when I cut the locks, I just couldn't make peace with it, right? And then when I started thinking about, okay, let's do the braids, I just saw myself like, here we go on this fucking merry-go-round again, that every 2 to 3 months, I'm dishing out money to get fucking braids. And then I was like, okay, you got your locks, you kept your locks, so let's just get somebody to reattach them. Starting at $900 up to $2,500. I have a license to do hair. I did it for about 5 years, if that long or whatever, just to have a backup to my corporate job. So I still keep my license on hand. And that doesn't make me a master, but I'm like, look, I can do it. Like, nobody's better than me or whatever. It's going to take me a minute. And when I say I punctured my finger with that crochet needle, punctured it. But anyway, we are 3 weeks in. I haven't lost any, knock wood, wherever the wood is. And here we are. So we'll see. And I told the girl, I put her on hold, the lady who was going to braid my hair, the young lady who was going to braid my hair. I was like, give me 30 days. Because she also had recommended somebody who could reattach my locks, or I would just go ahead and make an appointment and whatever. So I'm trying to figure out if I like this, how I'm feeling. And of course, some places were still too short for me to attach it. They probably grown out now. But anyway, I'm figuring it out. And I'm okay. I was feeling kind of shitty about it at first. Like, make up your mind. No, bitch. You figuring it out. Just like life, you figuring it out. So the whole point, I think, of this video is to talk about things. About, one, today is Valentine's Day, right? So, and people all over the place. Like, I ain't judging nobody, right? Do what you fucking want to do. But I feel like Valentine's Day is a couples thing, right? Some shit we just gotta opt out on. If you're not a couple, Valentine's Day ain't your shit. If you're not a couple, engagement's not your shit. If you're not a couple, weddings are not your shit. Like, I get it. People don't want to wait on life events so that you can be part of a tribe. But do what you want to do. I'm hearing the trend of self-love, and I'm hearing Valentine's Day or whatever, so you hang with your girls. I have been hanging with my girls since I've been fucking single. Like, I hang with them bitches all the time. And I'm saying bitch in adoration. And self-love, man, I've been loving on me since I got divorced and I figured out who the fuck I was, because you lose yourself, right? I lost me when I got married. But I got married at like 20, 21 years old, right? I already didn't know who the fuck I was. And then I meet this dude who is so savvy and so sexy. And that was then, over 30 years ago. But it was all overwhelming. And he kind of molded me, not even on purpose. He didn't purposely mold me into who I became. But I was easily morphed into who I thought he wanted me to be, right? Until he probably was fucking bored. Like, you just a puppet on the string. And he was bored with me until he found somebody, and I keep hitting this damn table, found somebody who, you know, who could speak their own mind and could be themselves, right? So, long story short, got divorced, or separated, whatever. And I found me. What I lost in that was my friends. So I realized that our friends were basically his friends. And I lost that. So I had to find me and then just be me. So evolve into who I truly am. And it's still evolution, right? We're still evolving into that person. But at the same time, this dating thing has morphed into this different animal as well, right? So what I was saying about Valentine's Day, so I have some friends who are working on the self-love, who are taking these baths in bath salts and with rose petals or whatever, and that's what they need, because for me, I'm doing the CBD baths and things like that. I mean, everybody got to meet themselves where they are, right? But for me, self-love is something that I try to focus on daily. And maybe not all day. Some days I probably spend more time on self-love than others. But for the most part, I'm really rocking with me, right? And hold on a second. All right, so this is ghetto, but my lips feel super dry, so I had to put some Vaseline on them. But anyway, so then I have, again, you know, you see the younger crowds who are trending, younger ladies who aren't in a relationship, who are trending with the Valentines. And, you know, to each his own. Everybody do what the fuck they want to do. But I feel like there are certain things that I have to opt out. And Valentine's Day, it just happens to be one. And that's my position. But also just thinking about some of us who are just bored, right? That dating has kind of it's a different thing, right? So as you get older, dating has changed quite a bit because one, COVID happened, so you're not out and about as much as you were. And again, I'm a person that I would bar hop. So maybe not bar hop, but I am definitely, or was definitely, a person that will go to the bar, have dinner. I would go to a bar even on a date versus actually sitting at a table. I just prefer that energy, that vibe. It's just different when you sit at the bar. And I've never been shy about sitting at the bar alone. Going to my favorite restaurant, sitting at the bar, talking shit to the bartender, with the bartender, or whoever was next to me, right? That was my life, and that's how I met people. Like, I don't meet a stranger. COVID happened, that shut all that shit down. I went into a state of paranoia for about 6 months, right? And then it's like I lost my juju. I lost my mojo about how to get back out there and navigate. And then when I did try in the last year or so to get back out and go to my spots, my regular locations, and just hang out at the bar, it's different, right? Because there are young women who are 20, 30 years my junior doing the same fucking thing. Like, even the cigar bars. Like, I started going to cigar bars, cigar lounges, or whatever. I would smoke the cigar, but more so just to be in the room with the men, right? Most of them married, I get it, or in some kind of entanglement or some kind of relationship. But that was where I felt like it was like a Quick Trip moment. Like, you know, you're going to go to Quick Trip. You used to go to Quick Trip. You were pretty much guaranteed to have somebody hit on you, right? Not the case anymore. One, because everybody fucking masked up if they're wearing masks. And two, it's just different, right? Post-COVID or during COVID or whatever we're calling this phase, things are different. And now, like I said, you go to the cigar lounges, it's a younger group of women in there. So it's you or it's them. And of course, there are probably more aesthetically pleasing to the men because they're younger, they're tighter, they're vibrant, their energy is different, and what their expectations are definitely different than mine, right? Because I want you to have your shit together. And while they probably say the same, and no disrespect to the younger generation, but your shit together expectation is definitely different than my shit together expectations. Like, what I want you to come to the table with is a fucking table. Bring the goddamn table. Whereas you want them, one, I don't know what the fuck they want. We're not even going to talk about that. But for me, I want you to bring the table, the grill, the meat. Expectations different. Especially if we doing it at my house. Like, now if I can come to your house, if you got a house, you got a roof, I'm impressed. Lights on, staying on. You not living with your mama. And I get it. At this age, maybe your mom, your parents need to live with you. But you need to have the master bedroom. There needs to be some proof that they are living with you and not vice versa. I'm not. Now, I get the adult kids that are still living at home. That happens, right? However, I don't need you dependent on those adult kids helping you pay the bills like some kind of roommate situation. I don't know where this is going, but let's go back to, being bored and not necessarily fulfilled. Like, if you've checked all the boxes, right? So you've built your career, you're financially stable, whatever that means to you. You've checked the boxes of what you want as far as your way of living, your lifestyle, having a home, having the transportation that you want, whatever that means to you. And then you're still like, I'm just not fulfilled. Something's missing. And most of us, or I'll say most of my crew, my tribe, my personal relationships, which are women, and there's one guy who is really cool with us, and he's heterosexual, but he's struggling too, right? We just have to remember that his perspective is going to be different, right? Because he's a man. So while we try to guide him and give him our opinions about things, sometimes we have to pull back and realize that he's different. His situation is different, right? He's doing what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to chase. He's supposed to initiate. He's doing exactly what we want men to do for us. I want to be pursued. I'm not an assertive person. I'm not an aggressive person. I will respond in kind, but I gotta know. And so I'm gonna put a thumbtack in that fulfillment, because one of the things also that has come up several times with my friends and then also our children is about knowing when to engage in that conversation about what the fuck are we doing. So if you meet somebody and you kind of you start hanging out, you're talking on the phone or whatever, when do you initiate that conversation about, hey, what the fuck are we doing? Like, are you interested? Are we... And you don't have to tell me you're in a relationship with me, especially if it's early, but I want to know early. Like, if I'm a month in spending time with you, I'm getting to like you, and I'm a Scorpio, so I'm very emotional, super sensitive, even though I'm going to have this facade on the outside, like, you know, it doesn't matter. I definitely, if I'm spending my time with you, my time is valuable. Whether I'm watching paint dry or I'm letting you come into my home and hang out with me for hours and hours and hours and hours, or we're planning shit. To me, there's somewhere in a month in, I need to know that, hey, you're interested and you're going to see where this is headed. Not that we are in a relationship, but just that conversation of, all right, I like you. That doesn't mean that we're moving in together, but I'm going to see where this is headed. Versus, or tell me, you know what, I'm still dating. I'm keeping my options open, because that helps me level set and set my expectations on what the fuck I'm doing. That means I keep accepting the text messages and invitations and phone calls and dates from other guys, right? Otherwise there's some confusion, right? Because if we don't have that conversation, then maybe he's assuming that because he's spending so much time with me, it's assumed or it's known that, hey, I'm feeling you, or I'm doing things for you, so hey, that means I'm feeling you. Versus, you know what, let's just get out the mud with this. Let's just pull our drawers down and just be like, look, I'm gonna show you mine, you show me yours. What the fuck are we doing? And then, you know, fast forward a year into it, and we figure out, you know, where else we're going with this. And then, so I have a few friends who don't want to have that conversation. Their thought is that you'll know by the fact whether they're spending time with you or not. And I'm like, yeah, nah. They could be spending time with you and still navigating the circuit of other women, being with other people. Like, and I guess it doesn't matter, because they can still lie to you, right? They can tell you anything, right? I don't know. But so I was talking about fulfillment, right? So why does a relationship or lack thereof make us feel unfulfilled? Why does that feel like such a huge gap? For me, I think it's because I've been in a relationship forever. Like, since I was probably 16, I've had a boyfriend. Whether I liked him or not, I've had a boyfriend. And then when I was engaged and I got out of that engagement, I was meeting guys, but I was like, you know what, I need a break. Because I was like a monkey. I was just swinging from one branch to the other. I would leave one relationship and bam, I'm right into another one. And not that I was playing the field of being a whore, but I really didn't have any quiet transition period. I was really with somebody, and then somebody else that eased in, and I was out of that and probably into something else until that last relationship. And I told God, I told the Holy Spirit, like, look, I need a break. I don't want a relationship. And then I think I said this in another video that I was honest. I would tell the guys that I was meeting, like, I don't want a relationship. And some of them would be like, yeah, that's cool. I do want a relationship, so this is not going to work. And that was fine. That was fair, right? Because I do believe in honesty, and I believe in karma, and I believe if I tell you, I want you to treat me the same way. It doesn't always happen. It's not always reciprocal, but I try my best to put out what I want back, right? What you put in it, you get back. And I do believe that, and I have to trust God. I have to trust the universe on that, right? Even though I'm a little gullible sometimes. I've been bamboozled quite a few times. But for the most part, I try to be as upfront as possible, right? And then I got stuck in that. I even had, I guess, some relationships or whatever. I met a couple of guys and did something for a few months, 3 months, 6 months or whatever. And then COVID. So there was that period, probably 3 years, 2 to 3 years, where I really didn't want a relationship. I really was enjoying me. Self-love, oh my God, I figured that shit out then. Didn't know, wasn't calling it self-love. That was just me doing me. Me finding me again. This was probably another transition from like when I was divorced, trying to find me, refine me, or figure out who I was, and then getting out that relationship with my fiance at the time was another, hey, who the fuck am I? Because at that point, my daughter was out the house. I was an empty nester, and I was alone, but I was fucking enjoying it because I was like Pretty Woman. I decide who, I decide when, I decide who, I decided how, and I love that shit. And then I started doing solo international trips. So, man, life was fucking good. And life is still good. I still can call the shots on all that. But then there's like, now I want companionship, right? I don't know necessarily that I want to be married, but I do want companionship. I want someone to enjoy my life with, right? And I do have standards. I have expectations. And that's the hard part, right? Because I don't want any more training. The training day is over. I am done training and showing people. I want to meet someone who can show me something, to turn me on to something, right? And I'm not too old to learn. I'm not too old to be surprised. Like even today with Valentine's Day, I wouldn't have done the traditional shit like roses. Don't send me flowers at these inflated ass prices. Like, send me flowers throughout the year. I like tulips. So I like a motherfucker that remembers that and sends me just flowers just fucking because, not for Valentine's Day. And don't take me out to dinner. If we're in a relationship, we eat out all the time. I want to do something different. Like I have a fire pit outside. Let's do a fucking picnic, cold as the fuck it is outside. Or let's cook together. I love to cook. I hate washing dishes. I love a man that can cook. But I don't want him to take over the fucking kitchen. Unless it's just been that day and he just wants to cook for me. But I would love for us to be able to cook together, to laugh together, to play music together. So just being creative and doing something unique. Not the traditional shit, the teddy bear. And I ain't knocking it. And maybe that's an age thing for me, right? And it's perfect because even one of my exes sent me something for Valentine's Day. And it was a bracelet. Like, he understands my language even now. Even though we're not together, he knew that he had to come with it. And he did. He had a beautiful bracelet delivered. Totally unexpected. But that's the standard I set. So how do you get to being fulfilled without having that, what you feel like is that missing link? I think you have to stay busy. You have to do something differently. So like I'm doing these videos. I am working on my tarot reading. I'm improving. Even thinking about doing personal readings and opening that up, have to understand how committed I am to that. Like cutting my hair and growing my hair. I am commitment phobic. I do have some issues with commitment. That's shadow work. I'm working on that. But I've also joined a golf club for women. I haven't golfed in, oh my God, probably 6 years. And I wasn't great at it then, right? So now I have to hone in. And I still have my clubs, but I got to get all the other equipment, right? The shoes, the towels, the gloves. And then I got to get my ass out there on the course and start hitting some balls. Like trying to remember how to make contact with the balls, let alone try to really be strategic about where the ball is going. You just have to, I truly feel like you have to just fuck your energy up. You can't, we hum along. Like I have a set way that I maneuver when I get up in the morning. I get up, I open the window, check the temperature, come downstairs, make coffee, open the blinds. Like I have a routine until the point it fucking sucks that you could probably close your eyes and just walk around the house and do it, right? But you still have to shake the shit up. You have, like I'm forcing myself to go out now more. I can Instacart my ass off. I will Uber Eats and have shit delivered. But there are days, like Saturday was so beautiful here in Atlanta that I made myself go out. So I went and got reflexology. I went to this place called Jayo in Midtown. And it's somewhere I used to go years ago, but I had stopped going because I moved to Smyrna or something like that. And it just wasn't close. Or I forgot about it, COVID. I don't fucking know. I can't remember. But I stopped going anywhere I went. And then there used to be this little small playhouse I used to go to. So I tried to check out, I checked out the current running play there. And it just didn't pique my interest. But I've reminded myself to look at the March, the one when they release a new one in March to see. So I can get back into that because you got to get out, right? You got to see and be seen. Only thing about it is, one, people are masked up so you can't see them. Two, most of the time when they're about my age, they're probably in some kind of committed relationship already. And I am not interested in being a side chick, but you have to shake your mojo up. You can't make a relationship appear, right? You do your best to manifest it and create the thought of the type of relationship you want based on some lessons learned. But meanwhile, you have to fight the fact that you realize that that person or that thing is missing, because the more you focus on it, what you feed grows, right? So if you keep reminding yourself or keep spinning it, I don't have, I'm not in a relationship, I'm alone, I'm single or whatever. It's like the universe is just hearing that, like, okay, she wants to be alone. They don't hear the negative part of it. The universe doesn't hear that negative part of it. They're like, oh, alone, by myself, single. So they're like, oh, that's what they want. That's what she wants. That's what she wants. No. So you have to just prepare yourself, prepare your place, prepare your mind that when I'm in my relationship, or pretend that you're in a relationship, not that you're nutty and crazy, right? But just manifesting that I want tall, dark, and handsome, or I want light, short, and fat. Like whatever it is you want, for me, it's more personality. For me, it's more the financial aspect. And not that you gotta be wealthy. I would love that. But just more in control of your finances. That's important to me. And that's a whole new conversation. Because I'm not even going to talk about that now. But anyway, we're about 30 minutes in. If you found this channel, you know what that means. That means I fuck with you. And I should have said it at the beginning. Like, subscribe, share the channel, comment. And let me know if you like these sessions. I'm, again, the Soul Session Sensei. So I am here to open you up to help you heal as I work on healing myself as well. Anyway, until next time, love you to pieces.